What up? What up? What up? Ah, shit, y'all know it's another day in paradise. Welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. Hey, y'all know we finna get to what we like to do on Saturdays. We already done had Super Saturdays over on Spider Pig. Y'all know to go check out the big homie Dallas, Texas Guns and Cooking channel. Hell, he got 5 different new channels, so y'all know to go check them all out. And if you ain't got 5, tell him to make 5. You dig? Yeah, let's see. Let's go to our playlist. View the playlist. We'll do that tissue culture video one of these days coming up for y'all. It'll be a Rumble exclusive though, so y'all already know how that goes. Make sure y'all link up with the Rumble because one of these days YouTube gonna get my ass, and I ain't gonna try to kiss their ass come back. So be a real one and figure out where your boy gonna be. That way y'all can pull up on me. Shouts out to Devo and Upstate. I was over at they live last night kicking it with them. Great content over there. Shouts out to the Bud Files. Y'all need to go check them out too.
Yo, what's good, rookies? I am Bass Drop Keys, your Philly neighborhood Negro, and I want to welcome you guys to the Rookie Mycologist podcast. Obviously, I wish that I was talking to you guys under better circumstances, but it is what it is. If you guys don't know, YouTube deleted the Rookie Mycologist YouTube channel, even though I had 0 strikes on it. Never got a strike on the channel at all, and YouTube deleted it. I've already gone through the appeals process, got that denied. Then I went over to YouTube, talked to them on Twitter for a couple of days. They looked at it again and denied me again. Once again, I had never got 1 strike on my channel ever, but yet they deleted me for repeated violations of the drug policy. Even though if you guys watch my channel, then you know that I never mentioned any strain of mushrooms that I'm growing. I never would do anything at all to put the channel at risk, but they deleted it anyway. So because of that, all of the mushroom content, I'm still making it, by the way. So if you guys are wondering if the mycology videos have stopped, they have not. But all the mycology videos you can now find on my website, bassdropkeys.tv. And it's not just YouTube that they deleted me off of. I also got banned off of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. So all the social media platforms took off the Rookie Mycologist. Thousands of you guys have told me how much the Rookie Mycologist meant to you, how much the content helped you. So if you want to still get the content, come over to my website, bassdropkeys.tv. All of the old videos, almost all of the videos are on there. I got about 80 of them on there right now, and I got about 30, 35 that's getting ready, that's about to drop on there as well. But all of the mycology content is on my website. All of the future videos are going to be hosted on my website as well. So if you're one of the 1,000 people who said that I helped you,
What up,
I got you started
good
in
to
the
see you. How you doing?
mycology,
Y'all
come
know to
over
check
and
out East
support me.
Dad.
I can't do anything about them taking me off all the platforms. All I can do is the 170,000 that subscribed to the channel in 2 years, the 9 million views that I got, all the people that said that I helped them. I'm reaching out to you guys to come over and support me. I'm still making content on my website, bassdropkeys.tv. Also, you're going to see a lot of other content that's going to be dropping on there as well. You guys know that I do a lot of things. There's going to be a variety of different content that I make that's going to be on my website. So make sure you guys come over and subscribe. But all right, so now that you guys know what happened to the channel, it got deleted, let's talk about this channel. This is the Rookie Mycologist podcast. Obviously, I spent 2 years building this brand, the Rookie Mycologist, and I don't want to let it go to waste. So that's one of the reasons why I created this podcast. Also, I want the Rookie Mycologist to have some presence on YouTube. So, once again, that's why I created this podcast. So, as far as the content that I'm going to be doing on here, this is a podcast after all, but I don't want you to think that it's going to be all mushrooms all the time. I use the name The Rookie Mycologist Podcast because I work hard to make it mean something and I don't want to lose it. And also, there is going to be a lot of mycology talk on here, but also I'm going to be talking about other gardening. As you guys know, I'm heavy on the 420 side. So we're going to be talking about those kind of plants, mycology. You guys know that I'm into a lot of stuff. All the things that I'm
What up,
into,
Galaxy
we're
Solutions?
going to
Good
be
to see you.
talking
How you
about
doing?
on this podcast, and I'll be having guests as well. So in reality, I really should have probably called this the Bass Drop Keys podcast, but I am the rookie mycologist, the only real rookie mycologist for all the fakers out there. I am the only real rookie mycologist. There is no other. There was no rookie mycologist before me, even though they got rid of my YouTube channel. I still am the rookie mycologist, and that's why it's the Rookie Mycologist Podcast. So I want to welcome you guys to the channel. I hope that you'll subscribe. I'm going to try to drop the podcast.
So, bro's YouTube channel that he was doing on the Rookie Mycologist got dropped off of the map. But I think his Bass Drop Keys channel's still up, and then he's got this new channel. So, y'all know, like he said, hit up the website so that way you ain't got to worry about losing track of them, right? That's just like I tell y'all, my insurance policy goes through the Rumble and the Buy Me a Coffee. Hell, they get rid of your boy, you should already know where to come looking for me.
Once a week on Mondays. Now, in between the videos with guests, I will have other content on this channel. But all the content that's on this channel, none of it is going to have mushrooms in it. So you guys remember from the Rookie Mycologist channel, I had like products, unboxing and setups, product reviews, that type of stuff, talking about the equipment that we use in order to grow mushrooms. I still will have videos like that here on the channel, but as far as videos showing mushrooms growing, all of that content is on bassdropkeys.tv. Come over and subscribe. $10 a month or $109 for the year. So with me trying to find a silver lining into all this bad stuff, the channel being taken down, the one silver lining is on the videos going forward, there is no censorship. So I'll be able to tell you guys exactly where you need to go to get everything. I'll be telling you exactly what strain I'm growing. I'm going to be able to give you all the information that I thought that I was being safe by not putting on YouTube. I tried to play it safe. On my website, I don't have to do any of that. So on my website, you're going to get everything in full detail. No holding back. I'll be able to give you exactly where you're going to get it, exactly what you need to do at all times, because nobody can take me down off my own website. This right here, you know, you guys know I've been a content creator for 9 years. In April, it'll be 10 years. On 420, it'll be 10 years since I became a content creator. So this is something that I should have did a long time ago because of my content being, 420 and mushroom based. I want to thank the 20 people who already subscribed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Like I said, I got about 80 videos already uploaded. I got another 30 or so that is getting ready to drop on there, and then that'll be the entire mycology catalog that's on the website. And also, I'm working on brand new videos that's going to be dropping the beginning of next week. So if you guys remembered, I started the 2 strains in 1 mono tub. I'm going to that growth. Also, I got some other series that's going to start next week. Subscribe, bassdropkeys.tv. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for the love. They can knock me down. They can't knock me out. We're going to keep it pushing. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for all the
That's
love.
that bullshit,
I'll be
man.
seeing you soon right here on the channel. Much love.
Still got a cough after I've been back healthy for a week. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, could be worse.
You don't really want to play with me. Ignite the gas and explode any hopes it contain in me. You better watch out. Whatever you do affects you. You're chained to me. Whenever you take aim at me, you take aim at you. The same thing as me. Bang, bang when it bursts in your brain of you. What are you done with a Kurt Cobain would do? Trying to skip a link in a chain of food. Boy, I'm Mr. Pink to these grays and blues. I get a change of mood when I sip the drink. Disperse the curse in a cryptic ink. Let's be honest, I'm half bad. Yes, if you really want it, you could have that mess. Let it roll like the good times. If you think I'm a good side, you'll be hashtag blessed. Everybody want to win. Truth is, some have to lose. There's one path to choose. Everything goes around, comes around. around and what you do is what you. You know, that's how the truth go. They pretend they can bend me like Zuko. Then they try to get around me like loopholes. But cross me, you burn up fast. In a word, if you play, you burn your karma. Gonna give them what they deserve. Yeah.
It's a nice time lapse, though. And what it look like when you lose the water weight. Couple zips. What up, beat after beat? Good to see you. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good, smoking good. Or, got beats for days, right? Whatever it is, do it as long as you do it good. That was a nice auto, man. He got hella tops.
Wow, that's Snoop Dogg, the Godfather. I hit that blunt, I'm going to see the father. Damn, Earth was cool. Oh, this gas, 93 octane. God, take me now. Hey, cooler, he got another
He just threw the blunt
sparked
though, like
already.
said, fuck it.
Unreasonable. This
Fuck it. He just threw the motherfucker like, I am not down with you.
I'm puzzled. I'm finna give it right back to him and tell him I hit it 10 times already. I'm finna call 911 and report an attempted murder. He keep passing me blunts. He think we in a relay race. What a bummer. I'm finna put this out, and if he asks why, I'm gonna tell him I'm allergic to marijuana. Weed for me stand for with each exhale, I'm about to die. He gotta knock it off. I done already took 2 blunts. He done sparked a third one. Smoke monster. I'm finna play sleep. I'm comatose. Big fella, you took that blunt to the head? Now you finna be in the nearest hospital bed. This ain't the finna scoot. He a different breed.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. I'm your host, Shad Dales. Today I'm going to look at President Donald Trump's recent comments on cannabis rescheduling and how they continue to make noise and has since triggered more conversations on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers are watching, proposals are being floated, and banking reform is indeed back in the spotlight. So let's walk you through what's happening, who's speaking up, and what it could mean for businesses and investors moving forward. So this is the latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. All right, let's first begin where it started, where President Trump indicated he's weighing a proposal to move cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. That came up on the campaign trail, and recently, as we know, he said a decision on rescheduling last month could happen within weeks. So that comment alone, it's lit up the policy world. But again, we wait here. But in the meantime, congressional voices reacted quickly. Representative Ilhan Omar, co-chair of the Congressional Cannabis Caucus, says Trump's public remarks have led to more lawmakers paying attention to rescheduling than we've seen in quite some time. So that's encouraging. She's been touring the country, meeting entrepreneurs, hearing their concerns about banking reform and access, and about legal clarity. Representative Omar also pointed out that during Minnesota's rollout of non-tribal adult use marijuana sales, there are still gaps though, particularly for underserved communities. She emphasized that policymakers must learn from states like Colorado and California to avoid missteps. But Omar also stressed one recurring complaint: banking reform. She notes entrepreneurs across the state say the lack of federal banking is one of the biggest practical obstacles, more so than taxes in some cases. So really, what good is legalization of financial services, credit, or insurance remains difficult to secure? And these entrepreneurs definitely have a point here. So where does it stand right now? Yes, Trump has made statements suggesting rescheduling is on the table, but clarity, as we know, is still lacking. There's been no formal timeline released, no approved bill in both chambers, and no firm vote scheduled. Some reports say President Trump has endorsed rescheduling here in his second term, but recent comments have been more ambiguous. Meanwhile, there's been some pushback here. Some conservative lawmakers are concerned about health effects, illicit supply, law enforcement, and federal regulation overreach. Whether you agree with that or not, there's been some pushback. Others argue that rescheduling might be insufficient, that full legalization or descheduling should be considered. The sides are forming, but the path remains unclear at this time. So really, when you factor all this in, for businesses in the cannabis space, let's face it, the chatter indeed matters. Rescheduling from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 means easing regulatory burdens and more research access, potential relief from strict taxation under Section 280E, better banking access, and possibly reduced risk from federal enforcement, something we've been covering very closely over the past 2 months. And as a result, investors are watching because those shifts tend to re-rate valuations quickly. Right now, stocks that have been sidelined due to overhang of legal risk are starting to see price upside with the government signaling movement. Demand, capital, and partnerships often accelerate when change looks inevitable. But as we know, it's not all straight line upward. Risk factors indeed still remain. Congress might try parking restrictions into spending bills. Judicial or regulatory delays could stall rescheduling, and federal agencies must align, meaning the DEA and DOJ, the Office of National Drug Control Policy, these all play roles. Also, a rescheduling move won't resolve all issues immediately. Banking reform needs legislative fixes. States will continue to have divergent laws. Interstate commerce remains a hot button, and aged criminal records still need expungement. And even if cannabis is placed as a Schedule 3, there's concerns about what that actually means in practice. But putting this all aside, I know these are a lot of moving parts. The first thing we need as far as the domino effect is a rescheduling announcement. So here's what I'm watching closely. 1, does Trump or his drug czar pick publicly affirm moving cannabis to Schedule 3 here in these next few weeks? 2, are there draft bills or amendments introduced in Congress that align with rescheduling plus banking reforms? 3, are any blocking provisions appearing in spending bills that try to delay or limit rescheduling? 4, how are states reacting? If governors or state legislatures start coordinating or issuing new guidance or enforcement, that could have a ripple effect. Also important to note too, if there is a ruling on rescheduling by the DEA, regardless of lawsuits, this is still moving forward. Again, after the book right now where we need an announcement. So in short, Trump's comments on rescheduling have pushed cannabis reform back into focus here on Capitol Hill, which is drawing in lawmakers who have been quieter before. Representative Ilhan Omar's remarks, it does in some ways underscore both the optimism and still the risk of how things could stall a little bit here, but I'm not reading too much into this. For businesses and investors, this is not a moment for wait and see, it's a moment to stay informed and position accordingly. That's it for now. Make sure to like, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications. Leave your comments below and give us your feedback if you found this video and breakdown helpful. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and like I always say, stay open mind, stay connected, and I'll see you in our next video. I'm your host, Shad Dales. This is the TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. Thanks again for watching.
Fucking shit.
Everybody in New York was calling to get down with Mr. Nice Guy. We met all kinds of customers, like this guy here. He's what we call an enhancement smoker. He thinks that marijuana makes every activity that much better.
Mi casa su casa.
Observe.
You're Scarface, right?
Yeah.
I love Al Pacino, man. Did you ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed? That's the way to see it, man. It's just whack.
$60, yo.
Cool, man. I got it. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man?
No, I don't know, yo.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill on weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man.
Man, you fucking crazy, yo.
Oh, it's cool. Thanks, man. Hey, yo, wait. Dude, I'm gonna check out the stars later. It's really trippy. Especially on weed, man.
So the federal farm bill made hemp legal across the country, but lately there's been lots of debate as lawmakers try to close that THCA loophole that it created. We've seen different senators speak on this very topic, and in today's show we're going to hear what they have to say, as well as Minnesota, who recently legalized and finally disposed of opening, but there's a catch, because they have nothing to sell yet.
After years of red tape and waiting, Minnesota's first group of cannabis businesses have been quietly getting their licenses approved in recent days. That includes the first shop in the Twin Cities. I say quietly because Kent went there today and he didn't find any long lines or fanfare because he didn't find any cannabis. either.
Well, the race to be the state's first licensed cannabis retailer should cross the finish line this week, one way or another.
So the shops are in Duluth and Albert Lee, but here's the catch. They do not have the supply just yet. So Fox 9's Corin Hoggard is live in Minneapolis at the sister store of the Duluth retailer. Corin, it may not be a surprise. We've been talking about this, but the bottom line is that these shops cannot sell yet.
No, Kelsey and Simone, the supply just isn't there right now. Really, the advocates for cannabis had asked the state to let cultivators start a little bit before the rest of the market. That never happened, and so here we are with the cultivators getting in line with everybody else. Now, the Office of Cannabis Management has actually issued 4 licenses with retail endorsements, but anybody who wants to sell retail really only has one place to go to buy legal weed.
So yeah, just a little bit of demo, going on here. This will be a big mural on this wall.
The shelves and even the walls are still empty at Josh Wilkins Simon's Lynn Lake location. He's hoping to open here around October and in Woodbury in a couple weeks. But he's also consulting on his brother's Duluth retail shop, which may be the first to open under a state license.
I expect that as one of the first statewide dispensaries open in Minnesota, that there's going to be long lines and crowds.
The store got zoning approval, passed the state inspection, and got its retail registration from Duluth. What it hasn't gotten, though, is cannabis to sell. The state has recently licensed 5 cultivators, but retailers are not expecting to buy from those businesses until this winter or later. Tribes had a head start of up to 2 years, but for now, only White Earth Nation has a compact with the state, allowing them to wholesale cannabis.
So you guys can see how strange of a position some of these business owners find themselves in. The laws have been rolled out, but they have nothing to sell yet. And that goes straight back to the fact that some of these lawmakers are so out of touch with the good herb that they didn't even think they need to have the cultivation take place so when the actual licenses roll out and the market opens, you can have stuff ready. But now we're in a situation where the market's open, the licenses have been rolled out, but nothing can be sold because no one has any product yet. And it doesn't look like they're going to have it for at least a few months. Because guess what? Those plants have to grow, right? Now you guys may have heard in that clip where they said tribes had a head start. And that's pretty interesting because a lot of plants and folks who operate on the res, they actually operate under different rules from the rest of the state. And that's something we broke down in a previous video, so definitely check that out. And that in fact lines up perfectly with this article that we see right here, which says that Minnesota's recreational market finally launches with the first sales at non-tribal dispensaries. Because a lot of those folks on the res in tons of different states, they already have their stuff set up.
Minnesotans can now legally buy marijuana just an hour northwest of the Twin Cities.
White Earth Nation just opened a new shop in St. Cloud today. That's WCCO's Jason Ramsey. Customers are buzzing with excitement.
I'm very happy, very happy.
This new cannabis dispensary in a sizable Minnesota city was met with sizable crowds.
It's been busy. We had a line around the block to start.
And plenty of anticipation Wednesday.
I'm very excited. This has been needed for a long time.
It's been almost 2 years since pot became legal in Minnesota. Selling it, on the other hand,
let's go. Why is this taking so long?
has been another story.
Me too, through all the red tape and through legislation.
I'm excited that it's here. I'm excited that adult use is finally available to the customers, available to the community.
This dispensary can be here in St. Cloud because Governor Tim Walz
But I'm
signed a
fine,
tribal state compact back in May, allowing White Earth Nation to sell cannabis off tribal lands. It's their second such cannabis dispensary, the first being Moorhead. Employees say St. Cloud was chosen for its central location.
And I'm a medical professional, so I've been an advocate for this for a long time.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll help people out, man, especially the vets and other people, maybe get them off that hard stuff.
Product safety testing is the same here as state licensed businesses.
Dealing with anxiety, with depression, with other behavioral health, mental health, problems or issues.
The chairman of White Earth Nation says they grow their product up in Mahnomen, and they are ready to keep up with demand with a half dozen more locations to come.
It means that people are going to have what they need. I mean, medical marijuana and marijuana in general is a beautiful thing for people to be able to utilize.
So you guys can see just how strange the law can operate at times. Minnesota rolled out rec a few years back, but it's only a couple of months ago that they finally got some of these sales started. And it's actually pretty interesting that the state of Minnesota is partnering with White Earth Nation to roll out some of these sales. Now, something else that we've seen recently is that President Trump's comments on rescheduling are making more lawmakers pay attention to the issue, and this is according to a Democratic congresswoman over in Minnesota. And personally, I think that this may be a good thing that more lawmakers are actually taking notice of an issue which is long overdue. Now, despite what you may think about this congresswoman, recently in an interview, Representative Ilhan Omar, co-chair of the Congressional Cannabis Caucus, also reacted to the launch of non-tribal adult use sales in her home state of Minnesota. Now, this is the important part, because when asked about the current status of policy talks on Capitol Hill, Omar said that there have been more conversations as Trump raised rescheduling, and according to her, it seems like he's hinted at rescheduling, which is kind of a positive step. Now, amid all the talks of rescheduling, there's been lots of concern and a lot of discussion that the Trump administration may move to cancel the pending marijuana and hemp rules. And that's exactly what it says in this article right here, which is dated September 10th. And also over here, according to this article, which says pending federal hemp legislation could reshape the legal industry by banning some products. So what I decided to do was have a little bit of a closer look to see what's happening and where we're currently at. And obviously, with the Farm Bill being a topic of discussion, there were a lot of proposals which should actually close that THCA loophole and also potentially ban a lot of hemp products that contain any forms of THC. Have a look.
Federal bill that, if passed, would ban all hemp products with THC in it. 6 News reporter Taryn Simmons is here for you now. She spoke to a few marijuana business owners here locally on how the bill could impact Michigan's industry. Good evening, Taryn.
Jerome, in Washington, D.C., a Republican-led House committee approved a budget bill that could ban all hemp products with THC nationwide. One marijuana expert I spoke to says the bill would do minimal damage for her store, but says there's still a concern. Officials say a goal of the bill would be to close the gap they say has led to an amount of unregulated intoxicating hemp products like Delta 8 and hemp flower. Evie Hernandez, general manager at The Cake in Lansing, says her store doesn't carry many hemp products with THC.
The products that we carry are, the good ones, the ones that you are actually going to help you, that are really medicinal based.
So if the bill were to pass, she says the impact would be minimal. The language used in the bill seems to target mainly products that are sold online or at gas stations.
Yeah, I've seen them pretty much everywhere, sadly, with no age checks, no lab testing, and packaging that looks like candy. So it's really on the market for everybody because you can't really tell the difference. They mass produce unregulated knockoff, so it can hurt the consumer more than help them.
Those are all points which we've been hearing for quite some time now. A lot of people say that they need to protect the kids, keep these out of the hands of children, and avoid them being sold without IDs at places like gas stations and corner stores. But that being said, if you were to ban everything, the hemp industry will be decimated, and tons of folks who actually use these products for relief will no longer be able to access those products, and obviously that'll impact them negatively. Now, traditionally, you will associate Republicans and conservatives with being against the good herb, but what we've been seeing is that a lot of these GOP senators are actually taking an opposite stance and saying that Congress needs to step up and regulate the good herb while exploring its efficacy for PTSD and pain. And what they're doing is recognizing the fact that these plants have medical benefits, and those medical benefits should be available to the people. And that's exactly what Senator Tom Till said during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday, so let's hear what he had to say.
Senator Booker, your points on cannabis, I think, are very well taken. And in many respects, I think Congress is not doing its job by recognizing
that was last week on Monday.
That bell has been rung.
You talking about old
stuff
here? I'm 40 now.
About regulatory regimens and other, Matt, we've talked about the fentanyl crisis now. We all know that at some point in the race for potency, then these products that are being purchased technically illegally in 40 different states, either for medical purposes or several dozen for recreational purposes. Congress needs to step up and try to figure out how we can manage this, exploit its efficacy in areas that are helpful, particularly for the treatment of persons with PTSD, a number of other studies out there, pain. But we've got to step up. And I appreciate you making those comments. And in my remaining time here, hopefully we can get something done. Well, this is going to conclude our hearing today.
So that was really refreshing to see. And the fact that some of these Republican lawmakers are actually getting on board with legalization and just the good herb in general, I think that that's fantastic, but it's also absolutely necessary. Now I'm going to show you guys another lawmaker who had really positive things to say, but did voice concern over what could happen over the next 2 weeks. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder, if you're getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club or just buy us a cup of coffee. And if you happen to be a home gardener, try the ICANN Organics, use the code LEGAL, it works on the bundle and the beans.
Senator Mitch McConnell wants to close a loophole created in the 2018 Farm Bill that legalized hemp farming. That's because the loophole allows the sale of intoxicating THC products like Delta 8 that feel like cannabis.
But as our Ian Hartwood reports, closing that loophole could have unintended consequences for non-intoxicating CBD products.
Senator Mitch McConnell pushed for the bill, effectively reviving hemp farming across America.
It has allowed for intoxicating hemp-derived synthetic products to be made and sold across our country.
Under a bill that advanced out of the Senate Appropriations Committee, McConnell wants the FDA to set a limit on how much THC ends up in the final CBD product. That's to prevent products like Delta 8 from being sold, which functions similar to cannabis.
And often use deceptive and predatory marketing towards children.
Senator Mitch McConnell is actually someone who advocated for the Farm Bill back in 2018. But turns out, as we all know, a lot of these lawmakers are not familiar with the plant and have no idea what they're making these laws on. So once that loophole became exploited, it turns out that now he wants to close the loophole. And he actually proposed some language which would ban all forms of hemp. Now thankfully, Senator Rand Paul, Republican, actually stood up for the good herb, and eventually McConnell stripped that hemp banning language from the bill. Check it out.
Senator Mitch McConnell says he's backing off his fight to close the 2018 loophole that legalized hemp. For now, McConnell recently included language in a Senate Agriculture Appropriations bill that he says would have kept bad actors from exploiting the 2018 Farm Bill to create intoxicating products with federally legal levels of THC. Kentucky's other U.S. Senator Rand Paul is reportedly against banning ingestible hemp products containing THC. Speaking on the Senate floor today, Senator McConnell said he allowed his language to be stripped from the bill so that it can move forward, adding his efforts to protect children and support farmers will continue.
So thankfully that was a little bit of a win, but it's not all over yet, because according to Senator Rand Paul, there are actually concerns that hemp could still be banned over the next 2 weeks, as it seems that the debate has swung hard to the prohibitionist side. Now, Senator Rand Paul sat down with Shah Dills of the Dills Report and had a conversation on this very topic, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what he had to say, so let's check it out.
Senator Rand Paul, and get straight into the conversation. Good day, Senator. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Listen, let's begin. I know our audience, they follow both the cannabis and hemp industries very closely. Like on one side, you have the licensed cannabis operators who see some bad actors in hemp exploiting loopholes and undercutting regulated operators. Then you have hemp farmers who say these products are their livelihood. So everyone agrees there needs to be some form of regulation, but the fight in Washington, as we know, it's whether that means sensible oversight or an outright ban. So how do you make the case that hemp products can be regulated responsibly without eliminating them altogether? Because I know this is a big topic right now.
Well, what you have is people like Senator McConnell, Gavin Newsom, who are putting forth and showing all these things that look like candy that have very high doses of mostly Delta 8 THC. And so these products, most people in the hemp industry aren't making them, but some people must be making them. The complaint is that they're being sold to underage people with very high doses, much different than what the rest of the hemp industry is doing. And so they say, well, we want to control this. We don't want this to be sold to kids. So instead of having an age regulation or having some sensible regulation, they've written language that we think would kill the industry completely. The initial language was that the definition for hemp would not include quantifiable amounts of THC. Well, we're not sure exactly what that means, but when they say that the definition does not include quantifiable amounts, it sounds like it could be negligible, zero, nominal, and we worry that that would destroy the industry. If they change the definition for the plant, all the plants have been adapted and modulated to grow at the 0.3% level. All of that would have to change over time.
So we think there needs to be slow down, put the brakes on things. Our best hope is that nothing happens in the next couple of weeks.
So Senator Rand Paul says it there perfectly, and that's something that I agree with wholeheartedly. Regulation is far better than a ban, but he also raises a great point. A lot of these bad actors are exploiting the loophole, but also exploiting synthetic cannabinoids such as Delta-8. And if we're being real, I think a lot of people who are out there do not want any synthetics. They're not fans of any of that Delta-8 stuff. They only want the Delta-9, which is the real stuff. So you guys can do some research on the difference between Delta-8 and Delta-9. Now, Senator Rand Paul was also asked about the future of hemp and the high potency regulations that a lot of these lawmakers do want to put in place. So let's listen to what he had to say about that.
Absolutely. So under your bill, or under the way that you see the hemp industry evolving into the future, I mean, do you see things such as THCA flower and such as these high potency synthetics being regulated out, and the hemp industry really just becoming a low dose THC product industry like it was intended for those, let's say, edibles, beverages, etc.? Because when you do get into the THCA flower, you are getting a legal product, whether it's coming from Mexico, whether it's coming from California, that is penetrating those channels. We've had investigative journalists and people actually go to hemp stores and hemp smoke shops from coast to coast, whether it was Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, and the product that they are saying that they're selling, which is THCA flower, by definition, with low dose THC, is actually not that product. It's high dose THC that is also not passing testing requirements with mycotoxins, pesticides, and it is creating a public safety issue under the guise of the hemp industry.
I think it's unknown what's going to happen yet. The main concern I have is that in the next 2 weeks, I don't want language to pass that completely eliminates the hemp industry. I think that's a big mistake. It's not fair. It's not right. And it will hurt some people just in the farming aspect. I've got a farming family in northern Kentucky that does this, makes a good living doing it. They've invested a lot of time and energy in growing hemp, and I don't want to put them out of business. I've got people who grow hemp not for consumables or edibles. I have people who grow hemp also just for wood, for hemp wood. And so the whole industry could be destroyed by this language saying that you can only have small quantifiable amounts, and that the secretary is going to decide what these are. If the secretary of, I guess I don't know if it's FDA or agriculture, whoever it is, makes this determination and they're a prohibitionist, all of a sudden we have no more hemp industry.
Right.
So I think we have to be very careful. I think that if the logical way would be go from testing the plant to testing what has been being eaten. The best analogy I got was actually from another senator from a big corn farm state, and he said, well, it kind of makes sense. We don't regulate the corn for alcohol. We regulate the alcohol. We don't say how much ethanol can you get out of corn. We say, when you mix it up and distill it, you can make alcohol anything. So they actually make alcohol very potent, and then they sort of dilute alcohol to the level that people want to consume it at. And there are regulations on alcohol, but there's not really any regulations on turning corn into alcohol.
And isn't that really interesting, guys? You guys can see how the industry is regulated so much differently to other agricultural industries, which is absolutely mind-blowing, especially considering that example which was based on alcohol. Now, that being said, Senator Rand Paul and Senator Mitch McConnell were sort of sparring, going back and forth for a while on the language as they were trying to determine whether to ban or to regulate the industry. And Senator Rand Paul was actually asked about that and whether they're going to get into it again. And let's hear what he had to say about that.
Do you have ongoing conversations with Senator McConnell? Because right now, when I see this on paper, two wrongs don't make a right. And it looks like the Farm Bill originally, when this was crafted together back in 2018, that there wasn't the proper due diligence that created this loophole. Now, we could be on the verge of doing the same mistake over again. Like, are you surprised at all of his stance in this approach, considering the fact that he was the major focal point of getting this Farm Bill passed 7 years ago?
We've been working diligently with his staff, my staff, his staff, with Andy Harris's staff, who's a big player in this in the House, and trying to reach a compromise. A lot of the conversations have been constructive. They say, at least on the surface, they're not trying to eliminate it, but I think we are some ways talking past each other. So they pile up all this candy that looks like Skittles, and it has names that look like Skittles and other candies that are out there. They're actually probably ripping off copyright and trademark. They probably could be sued for that alone. But then it has very high doses, much higher than, many of the hemp products might have 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams of Delta-8 in it. This might have a gummy that has 100 milligrams in a gummy, so it's like the package might have 500 milligrams, which, I'm not an expert in that, but talking to people sounds like that's a lot. And, so I think that something has to happen, but it's a matter of people not reacting in an emotional way and eliminating an entire industry. I think if they would sit down and listen to people, I think we could get somewhere. But I still am very fearful that the whole industry could be made illegal within the next 2 weeks. So people who are interested in this need to be calling their senators and congressmen and saying, look, there's no reason to make something like this illegal. And can't we figure out a way to regulate it without prohibiting it?
Wow. So you think the next 2 weeks, that's a real possibility?
Maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, but it could happen with the spending bill that's happening in the next week.
Okay.
It also could happen in a conference committee report where it's coming together. And the same way people lobby me, I have to lobby those members. I won't be on the conference committee. I'm not on those spending committees that are making these decisions. So I spend a lot of my time lobbying them to try to make sure we don't make a mistake here. But if you follow legislation, the history of legislation is mistake after mistake.
Yeah.
When people get in a rush, I would prefer that we do nothing for now and send this back to committee and study it for a year and not be too rash so we don't ruin the industry.
A lot of you guys have praised the Farm Bill, praised the Hemp Bill, and those loopholes could potentially be closed over the next few weeks, depending on how some of these things turn out. So you guys need to stay updated, stay subscribed to the Legal News Network. We'll keep you guys updated with all that, but I want to find out what you guys think about everything that we discussed in today's video. What do you guys think about Minnesota finally rolling out legal sales? But also, what do you guys think about some of these lawmakers trying to close the THCA loophole that's in that federal Farm Bill that's been law since 2018? Drop it in the comments down below and let me know. Now, something which you guys may have missed is a pretty interesting video which we did recently where we covered the top 5 most weed-friendly states in America. So if you haven't seen it, check that video out because it's coming up right now.
Playing with the radio knobs like they're nipples or something? Shut up, Clark. You don't know anything about nipples. What? Come to Earth acting like you know about nipples. You don't know a damn thing about nipples. I know everything about nipples. That's why I chose bats. I have several nipples. I used to have nipples on my suit. How are we friends? Whoa, hold on. Don't be using that kind of language around me. I've never said I was anybody's effing friend. Well, you don't have a choice, Batman. We're super friends. F that, Superman. That's right. F that. Capital F that. You take that capital F and you put it right in front of friendship. You don't do that with my capital F. My capital F does not stand for friendship. F is the friendliest letter in the alphabet, so it can stand for whatever we like. Well, mine stands for Wait a second.
Prohibition laws continue to be evaluated and lifted in several states. While this is happening, marijuana is legalized in several cities, including Amnesty Bay, Gotham City, Metropolis, Keystone, Ivytown, Hub City, Happy Harbor.
Did he just say weed is legal? Yes, the F he did. Clark, is that stash we stole from Scarecrow still in the basement? There it is. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's so loud, you can see the smell through the package. And now that it's legal, we can fight on the side of justice and also be high as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you, Clark. This was gonna get smoked whether or not it was legalized. You're damn right about that. Then bust that shit open. I really hope you're talking about the weed, Batman.
Dares release the Zaza demon, the stickiest of the icky. No one wants to smoke. Your little lungs are too small to hot box with a Lord. No one is but the
That's right, Clark. Hold that shit. Hold that shit. Damn, I didn't even know you could cough. That shit must be some fucking gas.
I am not made for that type of consumption.
Oh, shit. They don't put him to fucking sleep.
That is not sleep. That is a coma.
Oh, nah, bro, I gotta smoke on that. Hold on, let me find these rolling papers. I gotta have them in my utility belt or something. Like,
rolling papers?
I must have left them in my cave. Hey, ride me to the corner store real quick. I'm gonna go
You
get some.
couldn't handle my second-hand smoke.
Hey, smoke ghost nigga. I don't know if you know about me, but I'm fucking Batman, bro. I've been out here doing this. I'm vengeance in the night, and I've been smoking right. So don't even try me with that bullshit. You gonna have to go real long fucking. Well,
Touch your ass. No one can survive the Zaza deal.
I know this scarecrow pet down here somewhere. I can smell. What the fuck? Y'all out here smoking without me? Look at your bitch ass asleep. Can't handle no real smoke. Y'all motherfuckers say, what the fuck is y'all? What is that? Oh, I say that. God damn.
What the fuck? I stepped out for 1 minute and now it's 3 of them. All of you are bitches. I'm not even an indica strain.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5, presented by Dutchie. I'm your host, Shad Dales. Now, here's a headline that feels like it belongs exactly in 2025. Invasion of the homeland, how China is using illegal marijuana to build a criminal network across America. That is the official title of a congressional hearing happening this week. And while it sounds dramatic, it actually plays directly into the law and order environment we're living in. An environment where Washington is making clear the illicit cannabis market is a problem that needs attention, and that's a good thing. For the regulated industry, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it could be another step forward in separating legal operators from those who continue to undermine the system. So let's walk you through what this hearing is about, who's driving it, and why it matters, and how it could be a real boost to real cannabis reform. So let's get into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. All right, let's set the stage. This Thursday, the House Homeland Security Subcommittee on Oversight, Investigations, and Accountability will hold a hearing with that exact title, Invasion of the Homeland. The roots of this go back to language that Congress included in a federal spending bill earlier this year. That language directed agencies to investigate whether Chinese criminal groups or even the Chinese government itself are involved in illegal cannabis operations inside the United States. So the hearing is Washington's way of putting that issue on center stage. We don't yet know the full list of witnesses, but it's expected we'll hear from the law enforcement officials, maybe local sheriffs, and possibly regulators from states like Oklahoma and Maine, places where suspicious grow houses have been making major headlines. We've been reading about this a lot lately. And this is an important shift because when Congress frames cannabis as a homeland security issue, the conversation moves out of the margins. It becomes part of a broader national debate. And that leads directly into why this matters for the regulated industry. The reasons why is because for years, licensed cannabis operators have been saying the same thing. Their biggest competition isn't other legal businesses, it's the illicit market. Illegal growers don't pay taxes, they don't follow compliance rules, and in some cases they may be backed by international networks. That then drags down prices, distort perception, and makes it harder for the legal market to succeed, which we're all very familiar with. So when Congress shines a spotlight at illicit operators, the message is clear. The problem isn't regulated cannabis. The problem is those who refuse to play by the rules. So this is good because it appears our voice is finally being heard. And then when you add to that, and here's where the timing gets interesting, President Trump has said he will be making a decision on cannabis rescheduling within the next few weeks. That was back last month. So if Congress is calling the illicit market a national security threat, that then strengthens the case for making sure the legal market is on firm ground. In other words, a crackdown on the illicit side could become the foundation for reforms that the industry has been waiting on. And yes, we've been waiting on this for a long time. So let's now really talk about the people pushing the narrative, because their names, let's face it, actually matter. First up is Chuck Grassley of Iowa has claimed that thousands of Oklahoma marijuana businesses have Chinese fingerprints. Also, Senator Susan Collins of Maine has made similar claims about suspicious grow houses in her state. And prohibitionist groups like Smart Approaches to Marijuana are seizing actually on this angle too. They argue that legalization or rescheduling would only empower foreign criminal organizations. But let's hold on here. Here's the twist. The more they highlight illegal operators, the more they indirectly make the case for the regulated industry. Licensed businesses already go through background checks, ownership disclosures, seed-to-sale tracking, and financial audits. So the message cuts both ways. Yes, opponents of reform are using it as a scare tactic, but at the same time, it underlines that the real solution is to support the legal, compliant, tax-paying market that already exists. This is common sense. Now, we do need to point out what's missing here. So far, we don't know how many of these allegations are confirmed versus just suspected. We don't know how many licensed operators are actually involved, and we don't know whether this hearing will be about presenting facts or more about political theater. But really, with this administration and that being filtered down to Congress, it very much appears that we are in the times of law and order. So here's the key for the industry. Whether the details are thin or not, the outcome points in the same direction. More attention, let's face it, on the illicit market means more reason to build up the regulated one. Hello? And that's why many in this industry can actually welcome this kind of scrutiny. I know I do, and I'm sure you do as well. And let's also look at the investor perspective. If Congress keeps drawing attention to foreign-linked illicit operations, legal companies will stand out as the safer bet. So that's transparent, they're audited, they pay taxes. That could help ease reputational risk and really attract more serious capital. And it also could push momentum for reform. Lawmakers can't say on one hand that foreign criminal groups are a threat and then ignore the regulated companies that are providing the alternative. If anything, the more they hammer on illicit operators, the more logical it becomes to strengthen the legal side. So really, for investors, the story isn't just about risk, it's about opportunity. Those who are already positioned in regulated companies could find themselves on the right side of this narrative, and it feels like we're headed down that road. So really, when we bring this all together, what happens after the hearing? A few things to keep an eye on here. First, it's the witness list. Who shows up to testify will tell us if this is fact-finding or just messaging. Second, follow-up legislation. Will members of Congress introduce bills that target foreign ownership, or will they pair that with measures to support compliant operators? Then third is the White House's response. This administration, as we know, has built itself on law and order. If Congress calls the illicit market a national security threat, it could give the president even more reason for the rescheduling process to bring it across the finish line. And finally is the investor reaction. Will this market see this as a threat to the industry or recognize it as another step towards separating the legal business from the illicit market? That response will be important to watch. So in conclusion in all this, and really the big picture, yes, the title of this hearing is dramatic, but it's 2025, and under this new law and order climate, it makes sense. For the regulated cannabis industry, this is not something to fear. It's a chance to show the difference between operators who follow the rules and those, let's face it, who don't. So for businesses, it's a reminder to keep compliance front and center. For investors, it's a signal that Washington is finally turning its firepower on the illicit market. And for reform advocates, it could be one more brick in the foundation of a long-term federal reform solution, which is good because I view this as a positive based on this hearing this week by Congress. So saying that, that's it for our latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. I'm your host, Shad Dales. As usual, if you like this breakdown, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications, and stay connected as we get more news as to what this hearing is going to be all about, and really what it means for cannabis reform, something we know that we want an announcement right now, but like I've said before, gotta be patient. Enjoy the rest of your day, and like I always say, stay open-minded, stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm your host, Shad Dales, and again, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.
Let's discuss my payment. That time is past. No 5,000 for you. The price is 50. How about your payment is you get to leave? Not enough. Now you think you can negotiate with me? I say the word, my nephews go to a certain hotel, pay a visit to your daughter-in-law and your little granddaughter. What do you think happens then?
Consider your position carefully. Talking to Salamanca's. We're crazy.
Neither of us walk out of here.
afford these. Maybe I need the 50,000 more than you do.
What's going on, guys? I hope you are well and warm. Taking a fly today, baby. New glasses. Look at this. What do you guys think? Tony Stark? Do I remind you of your dad? Guys, thanks for joining in. We got a banger today for you. As you guys know, cannabis has been surrounded by myths, rumors, and flat-out lies for decades. Some of them came from the government. Others are stoner stereotypes, and some, well, from people who just didn't know any better. But today, we're going to bust open 15 myths about cannabis that are no longer myths anymore. These are things that people used to swear were true, but science, culture, and experience have proved otherwise. Let's dive in. Myth number 1. Cannabis kills brain cells. Remember those old commercials with fried eggs? Total garbage. Studies show cannabis doesn't fry your neurons. Heavy use might affect your memory and focus, but doesn't burn holes in your brain. Myth number 2. We've all heard it. It's a gateway drug. For years, this was a go-to scare tactic, but research shows the gateway has more to do with the illegal market and the environment than the plant itself. Most cannabis users never graduated to harder substances, regardless of what your DARE officer told you. Myth number 3. Weed make you lazy. Not always. Some genetics can knock you out, sure, but others, they'll light a fire under your ass, like a double shot of espresso. Comes down to genetics, terpenes, and dose. Myth number 4. Cannabis has no medical value. This one is officially dead. We now have cannabis-derived, FDA-approved medicines like Epidiolex for epilepsy. Plus, medical growers around the world use cannabis for pain, sleep, and so much more. Myth number 5. Smoking is the only way. No. These days, we've got gummies, tinctures, topicals, vapes, even cannabis beverages. If you don't want to smoke, you've got plenty of other options. Here's a myth that you can't grow great product for a great price. Well, thanks to our sponsors for making that happen. Shout out to Vivo Sun for sponsoring today's video. Vivo Sun has been in the game for a very long time. Whether you're looking for grow tents or smart controllers, Vivo Sun has you covered. Visit vivosun.com, use promo code PIGEONS420 and save 15% off your purchase. If you're looking for smart air filtration or a grow hub, they have got you covered. And thank Vivo Sun for being a sponsor of today's video. Shout out to Seedsman. If you're looking for some quality genetics from a quality place, check out Seedsman. Use promo code PIGEONS420. They're working with some of the best breeders in the game to hook you up with quality genetics. Check them out. Use promo code PIGEONS420 and thank them both for sponsoring today's video. Myth number 6. THC is everything. For a long time, cannabis was judged only by how much THC it had, but now we know terpenes and minor cannabinoids like CBG, CBN, THCV all play a huge role in effect. The entourage effect is where the real magic happens. Myth number 7. CBD gets you high. Not true. Pure CBD does not intoxicate. It can relax, reduce anxiety, or help with inflammation, but it does not get you high. Myth number 8. You can overdose on cannabis like alcohol or opioids. Wrong again. Nobody's ever died from a cannabis overdose. You can green out, sweat, get dizzy, be paranoid, but that's not fatal. Myth number 9. Legalization makes crime skyrocket. Multiple states and countries prove this false. Crime hasn't spiked. Some places even saw a drop in violent crime after legalization. Myth number 10. Stoners can't be successful. I see this online all the time. The lazy stoner stereotype is outdated. CEOs, athletes, doctors, artists, tons of high achievers using cannabis. 11. Weed always makes you paranoid. No. For some people, especially with high THC, paranoia is possible. But balanced strains or CBD-rich cultivars can actually calm anxiety instead. Consider that if you think you've had too much THC. Myth number 12. Cannabis makes you infertile. The truth? Research is mixed. It's not a fertility killer, but more studies are needed. It's not the hard no babies for you myth that was once spread. Myth number 13. Weed today is way stronger than before. This is kind of misleading. Yes, today's market focuses on high THC genetics, but potent land races and concentrates existed decades ago. The difference is testing and consistency. We know more now than we did back then. Myth number 14. Hemp and cannabis are the same thing. Not quite. Just ask the government. Both are cannabis, but hemp is bred for fiber, seed, and very low THC, while cannabis is bred for resin and cannabinoids. Myth number 15. Weed stays in your body for months, so you're always high. That's total nonsense. The high fades in hours. What lingers are metabolites in fat cells, which drug tests can detect, but you're not stoned for weeks. Another myth that I want to fit in here is that CBD is non-psychoactive. That's false. It is psychoactive. It has an effect on your psyche. So it is psychoactive, but it is non-intoxicating. It's a big difference. So there you have it. 15 cannabis myths that are officially busted. It's crazy how much misinformation was pushed for decades. If you're enjoying this breakdown, smoke that like button, drop your favorite myth in the comments, and let's see which ones shock you the most. The bigger picture here is that cannabis isn't the scary plant it was painted to be. It's complex, it's medical, recreational, cultural, and still misunderstood. As research grows and legalization spreads, we're going to see even more myths disappear. What was once considered dangerous is now being recognized as healing. What was once underground is now mainstream. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you found this eye-opening, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty more cannabis education, culture, nudes coming your way. And remember, stay curious, stay informed, and keep growing.
And we work in a business of tough competitors. I miss you. I love you. You complete me. I'm not just as...
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at Stash Blend.
I never said Stash Blend.
You had me at Stash Blend.
Okay. But that's for the garden. Beneficial bacteria, humic acid, silica, mycorrhizae.
Did you listen to anything I said?
Fuck it.
Are you focused on what matters most? Order your Stash Blend today and enjoy 20% off for $4.20. Are you looking for a new way to control your G Series, SE, and SF Series grow lights from Spider Farmer? Well, now you can with the AC5 Power Strip Kit. You can now connect your Spider Farmer equipment to one power strip. The kit includes the power strip, a temperature, humidity, and light sensor, 3-in-1 soil sensor, 2-in-1 adapter, a 2.5mm RJ12 cables, 3 RJ12 telephone line splitters, and 6 hook and loop clamps. You can connect to a temperature, humidity, and light sensor to automatically dim or turn off the lights based on the detected temperature. If you head on over to spider-farmer.com, use promo code PIGEONS420. You're going to save a few dollars off at checkout, and you're now going to have control over your entire Spider Farmer tent. And thanks to Spider Farmer for sponsoring today's video.
Check it out, I got a chick out of town always giving me stuff. She stayed mad as a fuck cause I don't visit enough, bruh. She called me the cuss well. I don't know what it was, but something that I does got him falling in love. And now we go on the phone beefing and she crying to me. Like you be fly, you be lying to me. True, she dying to see where I was, what happened. Study your social media, she trying to catch him. Bad bitch caught him off guard with the condom off, let her hit. Now my dick feel like it falling off sperm. When I shot him off, burning like a Molotov. Word of my mama, I'm disturbed by a lot of bra. That's where the mother son, I cut her off. Maybe she make me come a lot, but it come at a cost. I got a girl I love and I lost, won't never reconcile. She played me like a pump at a record, yo, check it out. Yeah.